See how none of that was true, but y'all believe that? They might sell that to y'all, but won't sell me that. You a sacrifice. He sent you to get bodied. Basically, he just signed you over to the
Family, let's chop it up. We gotta talk about this Black Balloons video and how he deciphers this part about the warning. Yeah, what FBG said in a song. That's what you heard in the beginning, but let's get to the video.
Now check this out. For y'all that don't know where those lyrics come from, comes from King Von, Durk, like biggest rival, FBG Duck. Now Duck must have known something we didn't know at that time. At that time, because FBG Duck, he told Von. And I even heard something either from OTF Vonnie's dad or somewhere else where King Von told that person that he knew he only had 3 years to do his music. And that he knew eventually he would get killed. Now, that could be those thoughts from the fact that he was basically a serial killer. Or he could know that the rumor was that after he came out of a meeting one day, that's what he said. He said he knew he had 3 years to do his music.
Now, he said something about that meeting. I got some videos in the vault that I'm gonna get to about this quote unquote secret meeting and where that rumor might have originated. But I don't know about the secret meeting, but we're gonna get to it for sure. It'll be one of the next uploads.
Maybe he just knew once he put himself and aligned himself with Durk in the industry. Maybe he knew his time was up. 3 years, that number 3. Now, y'all know we've covered this extensively on the channel. We already know Von was sacrificed. We know Durk set it up. But now there's been new accusations that have came out about a guy named OTF Vonnie, who's supposedly King Von's cousin. Now, this guy is also being charged with the murder and the setup of trying to kill Quando Rondo in LA, but ended up killing Quando Rondo's cousin, Lil Pap. Y'all already know that story because Durk has been arrested for it, as in murder for hire, behind the plot. You know, hired his homies, hired his team to go and kill Quando Rondo. Very sloppy, evidence all over the place. Pretty sure he'll get found guilty, right? Including the guy, OTF Vonnie, whose dad has come out and has said nothing but the truth.
Shout out to that dad, because to come out and talk about these things that he's talking about, you put yourself in certain situations that you might not want to be in, and that could affect the way you travel and go about your everyday duties. But it's the reason why I'm back on this King Von kick, because it's stuff coming out, especially with Durk being in. People are feeling more comfortable to speak.
Y'all know we gotta play the clip. It's about 7 to 8 minutes long, but man, he says some explosive things about what he knows happened behind the hit and the sacrifice of King Von. This just opens it up even more, brings the case right back around and gives us a lot more detail on what we really already knew. But what his dad goes in about, it just fills in some of those details that this was not a random event. This was not something that was random, like, oh, Von wasn't even supposed to go to that spot that night. He ended up going there. He sees Quando Rondo. He walks up on him. He tries to fight him, and boom, his homies shoot him. No, it was not random.
Now, I got a clip. I got a whole bunch of stuff in the works, y'all. I promise. I do. I don't know what got back in. I don't know, but listen, let me stop yapping. I got a bunch of stuff just to show the truth behind what's being said. But at that hookah lounge, there was a dude that said they hopped out of cars and started shooting. It seems like they were already placed there and they were waiting for the situation to happen. But I got that it's on camera and everything, y'all.
Even someone that was there that had nothing to do, they were just a standby, they were just a person that was there. They even said that it was set up. It looked like they just pulled up, got out, and started shooting. We all know Von's other manager, what was his name? 100 something like that. We all know he was an undercover police officer. They were on radio saying Officer Francois. So we already know he was undercover. He was the manager of old dude that's been in jail for about 5 or 6 years, YW Melly. So it was a setup the entire time, right? Now, before we jump into the clip, back to FBG Duck. Y'all already know this man told King Von that you a sacrifice. He sent you to get bodied. Basically, he just signed you over to the Illuminati. Crazy. He told him. And then he said, you want to see a dead body? And we ended up seeing King Von's dead body. And also, NBA Youngboy said he was going to show the world his body when he killed King Von. There's so many different stories that go with this. It would let you know this was a real industry hit. It was a sacrifice. We're going to go ahead and check out the clip and give a little bit more insight into why and how King Von was set up to be sacrificed and killed for Lil Durk, all right? None of it really made sense. None of it really made sense. They wanted us to believe it was a random act from the jump. And, I mean, it just wasn't. That's why it happened. That's why it happened here in Atlanta. That's why I say the setup was way before Von was actually killed.
These motherfuckers just pulled up. They got us blind and jumping out the car. They knew it was set up before they got down.
Got him to move to Atlanta. It would have never worked in Chicago. That's one thing you have to get in your head. He would have never been killed in Chicago. And if I'm not mistaken, Durk went live right after, Von was killed, or right before, or whenever Durk left, like a few minutes before all of this shit happened. Durk went live. And that was basically to show the world that he ain't have nothing to do with it. That was like an alibi. Yeah, you can see me on camera. I'm right here. I ain't got nothing to do with this. That was planned. That was strategic, y'all. That let you know Durk knew. He knew. Think about that.
We're going to end it right there. Check out Black Balloon's channel, you guys. It's actually a 23-minute video, or 16 to 23-minute, but this is the part I wanted to focus on. And I'm going to tell you one thing about what people say about these celebs or whatever. They get placed in certain areas when certain things are going to happen just to say they weren't around. And that's what a lot of these people do with these live feeds. And that's what I felt was done in this situation. I'm going to break down a video where a YouTuber speaks about everybody that's in the car looking at their phones, watching the live, talking about what happened, where they're looking at the comments about what happened to Von. Meantime, Durk's looking at the live and he's just, yeah. But this is the thing, y'all. We got to give it a little bit of leeway, because I want to say that was a time where people would spam comments like Uzi Vert's gone, or whatever's gone is just totally false. So maybe he thought it was that. I don't know. Anyway, like the video. I'm out. Peace.